just found the most insane game of 2026.
Sword
This is
Staff.
Sword Staff.
No,
It's
bro.
an RPG game that's like-
Customizing first. Wait, that actually works, chat? I thought you guys were lying to me.
What the hell is Sword X Staff?
This game is called Sword Staff. This is a brand new RPG, Sword Staff.
It's an anime-inspired RPG that follows the third wave philosophy.
Well, for a while now, it's been a game I've been meaning to review, primarily due to the fact that I've been seeing it a lot on my TikTok and Instagram, and just in my whole app store in general. It seems my feed is knowing me a little bit too well. However, I've always just kind of put this game to the side because I wasn't fully interested in downloading it quite yet. However, I was also starting to get news that they were having a Konosuba collab, so, well, I needed to start playing it now. Even though I'm not the biggest Konosuba fan, I have watched the anime and enjoyed it, so if I could have a chance at getting either Megumin or Darkness or Aqua in my team, why not? So you should have seen my immense disappointment when I found out that you're not really pooling for characters in this game. You're really kind of either just pooling for their, well, I guess cosmetics to look like them, so, you know, LARPing. But at this point when I found this out, I was a little too committed to the game, simply due to how addicting it was, honestly. So Sword X Staff is regarded as more of an idle isekai RPG developed by Bolt Ray Games, and it wasn't released too long ago, only back in May of 2026. As far as I know, there isn't really a whole lot of story going on here, but to be honest, I don't really mind at all. Instead of a story at the beginning, you get to choose either two paths, either the path of the sword or the path of the staff. And honestly, I don't know about you guys, but ever since I was a young jit, I knew I was made to be a wizard. So yeah, other than that, there isn't really a whole lot to choose from. I mean, it's not like Destiny where you can kind of go around picking a bunch of other classes, but between the warrior and the mage, I honestly just thought the mage was cooler in my opinion. But for either one you choose, they do have sub-branches, which is pretty cool. So for something like a mage perhaps, if you go for the wizard route, you can either be promoted to a sage or a sorcerer. Sage is more of like a controller support type. It's good for, I don't know, if you need to be supportive in dungeons, I guess. Or you can be super cool and decide to be a sorcerer instead, which branches off to an archmage and then a destroyer. This is great for just doing some insane AoE damage, but also being quite squishy as well. So let's say you enter the path of the sword, you can either branch off to be a duelist or a knight, with a duelist being really good if you're looking for a lot of single target DPS, while also being moderately tanky for your team in the dungeon. The duelist then branches off to the berserker and conqueror. If this isn't your style, you can always branch off to the knight class, which is more of like being a tank for your team, soaking up a lot of damage. This then can be upgraded to either a paladin and then a guardian. The gameplay for Sword X Staff is honestly quite simple. I mean, you really hardly have to do anything at all. You're more so just watching, with the only time ever needing you to click is when you're running some exploration or gathering materials to level up your character or relics. But I guess we could start off by going over what's in your home, with the first thing you learn, I believe, is the bed. This allows you to fast forward once per day and gather all the materials that are in your cart outside. Next, you get a table for your relics, which is useful to have a little bit more elemental mastery. You get an alchemy pot for food and dismantling items, and of course a chest to stash away everything else you don't need right now. Aside from the home, you do get access to the prayer statue, where you'll be pulling for relics and hopefully get lucky and get some legendary items, with I'd say the most important being that little wagon we were talking about, where you're going to be passively bringing in materials even if you're offline. If we're stepping away from the home and you access the journal, this is where you can go ahead and do some daily dungeons for loot, as well as do some PvP against other characters. Although it's not live, you just kind of make a defense deck and just pray whoever is choosing to fight against you isn't really that strong. It does let you choose whoever you want to fight against, whether it be someone stronger than you or weaker. It's your choice, honestly. You get access to daily event dungeons, where you try to do as much damage as possible with a group of other people. Material realms, where you, well, farm material, honestly. You get something called the Fantasia Ascent, which is pretty much a go for as long as you can until you die simulator. You can also join a guild, which is nice. It allows you to gather all the rewards that the guild has already unlocked and steal a little bit from your teammates and go ahead and do conquest bosses as well. But aside from that, if I was to share my honest thoughts about the game, I really don't think it's that bad. Actually, it's quite fun. I was a little disappointed when I found out it's not like a traditional gacha where you're pulling for characters, but honestly, the gacha in itself is still pretty fun. So even if I can't pull for some hot woman or some edgy dudes, it's okay, I guess. After all, it still does feel like gambling whether you're pulling for a legendary weapon or relic anyways, so it's really not all that bad. The Konosuba collab actually kept it quite entertaining, and even though I was still a little bit late, I was able to complete it in about a day or so. I'd say my only gripe so far is just recording all of the gameplay, but that's really no big deal. I actually enjoy when games are put into vertical mode or hamburger style. It's a bit annoying to record, but in terms of actually playing it this way, it's actually really nice and makes it really inconspicuous whether you're playing a game or not, compared to going into horizontal mode and playing a game that way. Because of this, I was playing this game a lot at work, which was a really great time killer in my opinion. I mean, I don't think I've ever really felt the hours go past me so quickly, and sure, maybe numbers and KPIs weren't being hit while I was playing it, but I was having a blast at least, and I think that's where this game honestly really excels. It's something you can kind of hop onto, play for a little bit, not have to worry about doing anything too complex, and get off whenever, because even when you're offline, you're still technically farming and leveling up. So if you're looking for a game that isn't really too high commitment, but also feels good when you start doing a little bit more damage in time, and maybe hopping on every once in a while just to do some conquest and dailies, I'd say you should probably try out Sword X Staff. Because of this, I think I see myself actually making a revisit video in the future and see how the game is long term. I didn't want to make this video all too long because I have a lot more bigger fish to fry coming up, but hopefully it keeps everyone just a bit occupied. There's a lot of other mobile games that I've been meaning to try that are like this as well, one of them being Nikke, but that's probably gonna have to wait since I know that's gonna be a much longer review in general. But until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night or whatever. Bye bye.